Hi everyone, I appreciate the opportunity to present today at DynamicsCon. My name is Nguyen and I'm a Dynamics 365 developer at Storm Technology. I hope you find my sessions useful. Now let's get started. So generating PDF documents is an essential functionality for end users, usually a requirement in most projects. However, it is not a straightforward thing to do to achieve in Dynamics 365. Today, I want to show you how we can implement the functionality in Dynamics 365. First, we will have a look at the out-of-box PDF functionality, how to enable it and see its limitations. Then we will be examining some real-world requirements regarding PDF generation and analyze a few approaches. Finally, I will demo out-of-box functionality and how to implement a feasible solution to the above requirements. So PDF generation is one of productivity tools which can be enabled or disabled in Sales app settings. It's easy to use. It allows generating PDF documents and save it to a note or downloading it directly. Also, we have the ability to attach the PDF document to an email. And we have some issues with out-of-box functionality. First one, it only supports limited sale entities such as account, contact, lead, opportunity, quote, order, and invoice. Custom entities will be supported in the upcoming release wave 2. Second issue, it can't be used in workflow or plugin for more automated processes. Now let's examine the following scenario. A training center has a Dynamics 365 online environment and portal for students to log in and register training courses. After a course, students have the ability to submit an assessment form where they can give comments and points on various aspects of the course. And they can download the PDF document, a copy of their assessment after the submission. From backend office, CRM users are using a model-driven app to manage training courses and assessment forms. They also want to generate assessment PDF documents and sell them into notes or download them directly. It is required to use Word template stored in CRM for document generation. Now with the above requirements, we will need to generate Word document from Word templates and find a way to convert the Word document into PDF. We have a few options here. First, we can use third-party libraries for our custom plugin or workflow. Second, we want to let external services to do the job, and then we just need to take care of integration. And the third one, we can leverage Power Automate. We just need to do low-code, no-code configuration. So let's have a look at the first one. We can write custom plugin or workflow and use third-party PDF libraries to convert the Word to PDF. This is only suitable for on-premise environments where we can register these libraries in CRM's server to trust them so they can be called in our plugin. But it is not the case for our online environment. We will need to merge the PDF library with our plugin or workflow library using IL merge and then deploy to CRM environment. However, PDF libraries usually call low-level system functions which are restricted in isolated CRM online environment. So I have tried a few libraries here from the right-hand side. You can see I have tried Word to PDF libraries such as Oppose, iceblue, Gembox. I also tried convert Word to HTML and then to PDF, or even Word to image and then to PDF with these libraries, but they are not allowed in the online environment. Besides, they usually require you to purchase a license or a subscription. So that brings us to the second approach, using external services, either online service or build your own service. The idea is to let the external service to do the hard work outside of Dynamics 365 environment, and we just need to take care of the API integration. So we can write our custom plugin or workflow or even JavaScript web resource to send the request with our Word document to their servers or to external services, and then get back the PDF document from the response. They usually require to purchase license or subscription. There is a risk where we transfer sensitive documents to external servers. Developing your own service, right, and maintaining the service may not feasible. It can easily become a separate project, which is out of scope. Now, this is our third option. We can use Power Automate. With the same idea is to move the hard work outside of Dynamics 365, but we just need to do configuration and with not much coding. It is free because it's already included in Dynamics 365 license. Only one prerequisite is to have OneDrive for Business enabled in your Office 365 environment. And we should be aware of the Power Automate API limits based on licenses, and also flow limits, and Power Automate pricing, which I have included the link here for your reference. And if you have a look at the right-hand side, I have already a sample flow, which take in a request and then generate Word document from Word template, and then convert it to PDF, and then return to the caller. Now let's have a look at this slide. This is the workflow for our scenario when user come into the portal, submit a assessment form, and then the Word document will be generated from Word template in CRM and will be converted to PDF document in Flow. And then when the document is ready, show a download link for user in the portal. Now let's do some demo here. In the demo, I will show you how we can enable the out-of-box functionality for PDF generation. And then I will show you how we can implement the solution for our scenario to generate PDF document for the portal and PDF document for CRM users. This is the Dynamics 365 environment, what I have set up. We have some apps here. This is the DynamicsCon demo, which is our portal. We have a portal management app for backend office, and training course management app for backend CRM users. Now we have out-of-box sales hub apps here, and let's have a look at this first. So I will show you how to enable PDF generation for some sales entities. Okay, we are in the app here, and in the left-hand side, we want to switch to app settings. So in app setting, we can see the productivity tools. And in productivity tools, we can see there's convert to PDF item here, and then we click manage. So it will list out some out-of-the-box entities which we can enable or disable PDF functionalities for this. So I already enabled this for account entity, and you can enable any entity you want. And let's head back to the sales section and open a sample account record. For example, this one. So in the detail form, you can see, let's give it a second. Okay, in the command bar here, you can see an option to create PDF and email as PDF. So this is out-of-box functionality. So let's try this one. So it will show up with a dialog. We have two options: to save the PDF or to download the PDF. When we click save, it will generate a PDF document and attach to note section in the timeline. So it says saving to timeline here. Okay, so you can see we have PDF document generated. This PDF document is generated from the Word template in CRM. And let me try the other option, the download. It will download the PDF document directly without saving to note activity. Okay. Now let's try the email as PDF function. So it will generate the PDF document and attach the document to an email activity. It will open up a new email with the attachment ready for it to send out the email. So that's the out-of-box functionality. So the good news is custom entities will be supported in the upcoming release wave 2. So we can have the option to enable any entity we want to generate PDF document from Word templates. Now let's get back to our requirement. Let me close this one. So let me open our portal. This is the portal for training center. So for students to come in and register training courses and give assessment. Now this is the Dynamics 365. I have customized a little bit of styling here. I have a menu, some image, some text here. And let's head to assessment. So we can, let's try submit a assessment form. So I have submitted some, and I will create a new one. I select the course I want to leave the comments. So this is very helpful. And we have some checks here. Course is well planned, yes. Some comments here. Course is well managed, yes. Instructor, yes. And course requirement complete yet. Very well. So we have an option to give some point for a few aspects here. For a student engagement point, I will rate 95, and we have an option to see the chart from the right hand side to update. Instructor behavior point, I think 95, and objective 99. Okay, So the charts look pretty good. I have some additional comment. I will just this code from my team and click submit. Okay, submission completed successfully. Now let's get back to let's reopen the assessment form again. Nice one. Okay, this is the one now. You can see this is read-only form, and there's no download button. But when the PDF document is ready, the user have the ability to download. So there will be a download button here. Let me quickly switch to our flow to see if the flow already done. Yes, and let me refresh this page here. Okay, so it will take some time. And let's head back to the backend application. This is the Sales Hub. Let's close it. So this is the model-driven app. The CRM user used to manage courses. They're just simple enough for managing courses, create new course, and some information relating to courses here. And we have assessment list of student assessment. So this is the latest one we just submitted. So we have the information of the course, who submitted, the student, and the date, and the only comments on the point here, and additional comment. Here you can see the PDF document is already created in the timeline, so we can download this PDF and see what it looks like. So this is the PDF with all the information we have inputted in the portal, with all the information about the course, who's the instructor, who's the student, and all the comments, and also the assessment points with the charts here and the additional comments. So this is the generated. So you can see this is very straightforward for users to use the PDF with all the automation without any hassle with the download button. And this for the CM user, for the on-demand requirement, we have the save PDF and download PDF buttons here. I just replicate the same functionality with the out-of-box functionality. So let's try to run this one. Let's save PDF. So it will the save PDF will call this flow to generate PDF. Let's see the history. Okay. Let me try again. Let me try again with the download PDF here. Give it a second. See, we can download the PDF directly, and let's refresh this form to see if the PDF generated. See this one? This one, when we use save PDF, this create this one. And when I click download PDF, it create a new one. But it didn't save to note, but it download directly. So let's open this one. So the same information. Now, I will show you how we can implement the functionality using Power Automate. So I created this flow. Let's have a look. So this flow will have a trigger when an assessment record is created. from the portal, it will call an action to generate Word document from Word template, and then it will get the Word document, convert it to PDF document using OneDrive connection, and then create a new note in CRM. So let's have a look at detail in each step here. First one is the trigger for entity assessment when assessment record is created. And then we call set Word template action. This is a bound action, and this bound action is created within CRM. Let me quickly jump into our solution. So this is the solution for training course assessment. Set Word template is our action to generate Word document. Okay, in the action, there's just one action here, which is calling the set Word template with this template and the target record. So the reason we should use this CRM action is in Power Automate there is no action for set Word template. So I will need to create this set Word template in CRM and call the bound action to call this set Word template. So our custom set Word template action for the target record. So it will generate a Word document in the note, and then we get the latest note which has our documents, Word documents. We have select some fields here, and we want to filter for each document true, and our target record is the assessment, and the note should have the file name that ends with docx, and we want to order by created on descending, and we want to just get one latest record. So this is to make sure we get the correct Word document generated from the previous step. Now the next step, I just initialize some variables to store the PDF file name and store the PDF data. And this is in our apply to each step. We want to convert the Word document from this get Word document step. So we want to put it into a temporary folder in OneDrive, give it a name. I'm using UTC now in the name, just to make sure there is no duplication in the temp folder. And then we want to put in the file content and make sure we call base64 to binary to convert base64 string, which is the content data. And then the next step, we call convert file to PDF action. This action is from OneDrive connector. And then after the conversion, we can get the PDF data from the convert file to PDF step. Now we want to get this PDF file into CRM by creating a new record, a new note record using the CDS connector. So let me scroll up here to see what properties we want to use. We want to create entity notes, title PDF document, and each document is, yes, this is important, each document, and documents is the content of the file from the previous step, and then the file name here, and MIME type is application PDF. This will allow the browser to treat the attachment as PDF documents. And then we want to attach this note to the assessment record. So we have a expression here. We are referencing our entity logical name with targeting the record ID. So using this expression, we can update lookup field easily. And yeah, and that's it for node creation. And then we want to this is to update the assessment to have the PDF ID. So we have the PDF document ID ready in our assessment, so we can use it in our portal. And there's one side activities that I want to show is we want to delete temporary Word document, also delete the Word document in CRM. So we can execute these steps in parallel with these steps by clicking the add button here. We can add parallel branch, so these branch can be executed asynchronously. So we want to delete the Word template stored in our OneDrive folder. We also want to delete the Word document in CRM, which is generated from the set Word template step. This step. So we clear some storage. We save some storage in OneDrive as well as in CRM. So this flow is for automatically generating PDF document from assessment submission from portal. So let's head back to our portal and open our assessment record again. This is the last one. Let's open it. Scroll down a little bit. Here you can see when the PDF document is ready, the student, the portal user can have the ability to download the PDF copy of this assessment. Let's have a look. See, this is really convenient for a portal user as well as CRM user. So next, I want to show you how we can implement these functionalities that is replicating the out-of-box functionality. So this is our custom ribbon buttons with a custom command. I'm using JavaScript web resource to do the job. And I will show you this later. Let me just show you a flow. I create a different flow. This one, generate PDF. So let's have a look at the detail. Okay, so you can see we have some steps here. The steps in the middle, just like the steps from the previous flow. It's only different for the trigger here when a HTTP request received, and the last step, which is to check if we want to save a file or download a file. So let's have a look in the detail. So when we create HTTP request trigger, we have an option to input some parameters. Here I'm passing in the target record ID, type of string. I also pass in download, type of Boolean, save type of Boolean. So I am specifying I want to save the PDF or I want to download the PDF, which is correspond to the button here. So if I want to save, it will call this, it will pass in the save parameter as true, or if I click the download button, it will pass in the download parameter equal to in this flow. So when this is triggered, we can do the same step, is to call the set Word template action in CRM to generate Word documents, and then get the Word document from CRM, initialize some variables for PDF documents, and then save the file in OneDrive, and then convert the file into PDF. So you may question that why do we want to save the file into OneDrive, because we already have the file in CRM. The reason why we have to do this because the OneDrive connector only accept the file from OneDrive folder. So we have to first save the Word document in the OneDrive folder, and then we can use the file in this convert PDF step. Okay, I set up the variable, I set up a PDF file name, get the file content from the previous step. So there's a parallel branches here to save PDF, and then the other branch is to delete the temporary documents to free up some space. So this branch, I want to check if the save parameters from the request is true, that I want to save the document into CRM. Then I create a new record, a new note record, which is the same as the previous flow. So I have each document is true, document content file, the file name, and the MIME type is equal to application/PDF. And then regarding to the assessment, so we can link the note to the assessment. And the last step is to check if we want to download. So the download parameters is true, then we respond. We create a HTTP response to return PDF document. So we have some HTTP headers here to be aware of, so that the browser, when it receives the response, it will know that this is a PDF file, and it will try to download it for us. So the status code is 200, which is successful. The header is content type application PDF, and content disposition, we want to be it to be attachment and the file name. So when the browser tries to download the PDF document, it will save the PDF with this file name. The body is our PDF data. Oh, there is one thing to note, that with the HTTP response for directly download, we want to return a binary stream. So that is different from the note in CRM, which is a base 64 string. So if you have a look at this cell note record here in the document. I am using base 64 expression to convert the binary stream into base 64 string for it to be saved into CRM. So every document in CRM will be stored at base 64 in the database. So we want to make sure to convert to base 64 string when we want to save documents into CRM. Okay, so this is the flow to convert the word to PDF. And now how do we call this flow? I created a JavaScript web resource. I'm using TypeScript here. So I have the export PDF function. I take in the primary control parameters, action download, action save, to specify if we want to download PDF or if we want to save the PDF into CRM. And I have some check here to check if the form context is present. So I want to reuse the form context from the parameters. So in this function, I want to call the flow and then pass in the target ID of the current record, and then receive the PDF file back or save the file into CRM within the flow. So I have the download and save function here. So this URL, take a note of this one. This is generated from our flow, which is this one. So this is the endpoint we want to send our request to. Copy this one and pass this here. So we want to create an HTTP request sent to this URL with the body of target ID, download parameters, save parameters, which is took from these parameters of the function export PDF. And we want to put in some fetch options. We want the method is post. Our header content type, we want to respond back with application JSONs and accept application JSON back. So the request body should be application JSONs with this body, and then the response should be application PDF. So the browser knows that we are downloading a PDF file. I also have an option to set a default file name if the content composition file name does not exist. So let's have a look at the download and save file here. I have a download file called. So in the download file function, I am actually sending the HTTP request using fetch API. So this API is supported from for any modern browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari. Any modern browser should have this fetch API, so you can create HTTP request and HTTP response as you like. So it's basically just send a request to this URL with this request body. So when we fetch the request, we want to check if we are saving, then there is no content returned. If we are downloading, there will be file content in the response. So we want to check the response body, and we want to check the content length, and we receiving the file content until it is done. There's nothing to download anymore, and then we save the file into a blob object. So this is if I'm checking if the type is application PDF. Then we will create a blob object. Blob object will be an object to store our document, and the browser will understand what blob object is, and then store the blob object into our file system. Okay, that's the idea. So when I build this TypeScript, I got this JavaScript web resource. I want to deploy this JavaScript to our CRM environment. Let me head back to CRM. I have deployed the JavaScript here. Assessment ribbon.js. And then next, we want to create a custom ribbon button for the two button. So this is ribbon button and another one. So in our legendary ribbon workbench from XRM tool, we want to open the assessments entity, and we create two custom commands for download PDF and save PDF. Let's have a look at the parameters here. This command will code our function, the export PDF function, with these parameters. The first one is the primary control from CRM parameter for the form context. Second one is the save. The third one is the download. So we want to save. This is the download and the save. So we want to pass in. We want to download or we want to save. This is save PDF. We want to save, not download. And then we create. We have a flyer button here with two buttons calling this command. So this is the save command, and this is the download command with an option to a PDF icon. So when I publish this ribbon to CRM, I get this result. So when I click save PDF, it will call our export PDF function, which is then create an HTTP request to our flow, and then create PDF document and save it in CRM or download it respectively. So let me close one. Yes. So I have just demo to you how we can implement PDF functionality in Dynamics 365 with limited code, with low code, no code configuration using Power Automate. So I think, in my opinion, this is the most feasible solution, which is cost effective, easy to implement, easy to maintain, and we don't have any dependency on external services or external libraries. And it will give us some start time and save us some time developing a custom web service as well. That concludes my demo. Let's do some recap. We have looked at how out-of-the-box functionality regarding PDF generation work, and we have examined some requirements and gone through a couple of approaches using third-party libraries, using external services, and using Power Automate to implement PDF generation functionality. And I have demoed to you. We have seen how our Power Automate can boost our implementation with just low code, no code configuration. And I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. I hope you've learned something, and I'd like to thank DynamicsCon for this opportunity and all voters who selected this session. Have a good one and see you in Q&A.